Good day, friends. New project on the bench on this day, which is the 26th of June, year of our Lord 2020, which happens to be my birthday. I'm 55 years old today. You may hear my fan whirring in the background. I'm not going to turn it off because it's really warm in here. Even though it's just been a little bit thundery, a bit rainy, it's been a fantastic day. It's been really warm. But anyway, let's get to the guitar. And what a fabulous guitar we've got here. It says at the 12th fret there, 120th anniversary, which should tell us, if we're thinking it's a Gibson, which it is a Gibson, should tell us it is a 2014 guitar, and it is a 2014 guitar, and it's a Gibson Les Paul Standard, and it is a beautiful looking thing. How could you fault this? This is my favourite colour. It's like a tobacco sunburst, and what a beautiful guitar. Got a little ding in there, just notice that. I've not checked it for dings, ding there as well. But anyway, again, what a beautiful guitar. So it's a returning client bought this in. He bought me an American PRS last month to set up, which I did. He's that pleased, he's bought this one in. As far as I can tell, it doesn't need anything major doing to it. He just wants it setting up to the same kind of standard I set his PRS up. And that's really it. So we're going to set it up, change the strings. I've been across Quicklet with a fret rocker, not noticed any high frets. And there shouldn't be any high frets. All the usual gubbins with this. The only thing that's not on this that you normally get on higher end Les Pauls is you get nibs. We don't like nibs here. We always end up cutting nibs off, but it's no nibs. It does have binding. It's a fabulous looking guitar. I don't know what the pickups are. I would imagine they are a 498T in the bridge and a 490R in the neck. My favourite Gibson pickups. I don't know. I've not put it in. I've not played it. Action. Yeah, a little bit wayward, probably a little bit too much relief in there. Looks pretty good. So we're just going to set this up and see where we are. Once I've got the strings off, once I've checked everything and got the strings off, we can get the neck dead straight and then we can go and check the frets. But I'm not thinking it's going to need any fret work. I'm hoping it doesn't, because it means I can just get this done this afternoon. But anyway, regardless of what it needs, it will get it. But I'm going to get it plugged in, get it played, get it tested, get it checked, and we'll get the strings off. And I'll bring you back in. See you soon. So the electrics are working fine. I've had it plugged in. It sounds fantastic. A little bit trebly, but I do like a guitar like that. It sounds really good. I would have thought that is a 498T in the bridge there. So 498T and a 490R set in there. So what do I reckon? Right, okay. Nut slots certainly need cutting. I've checked the intonation. The intonation's fine. The action is a little bit. There was too much relief in there, and the action is not quite right because we get a bit of fret buzz somewhere. I do find though we do get a bit of fret buzz with these slightly flatter Gibson frets. They do quite a flat fret. I'm not sure if I like that or not. But anyway, getting back to the nut. So, as a rule, and it's not definitive, it's not the exact size it should be, but I like to go round about. I work in millimetres. We work metric here. We're English. Top of the fret to the bottom of the string, I'm going to measure there, and on the low E I like to go 0.3 millimetres. This one's nearer at 0.6, about 0.5 on that one, and about 0.4 on that one. So we need to go lower on all three of these. I'm going to start at 0.3, 0.275, 0.25, 0.225, 0.2-ish and 0.175-ish. Probably between 0.2 and 0.3 along these areas. So I'll gradually go a little bit lower. The reason for that being that these strings vibrate more because they're fatter. So about 0.3 millimetres this end, about 0.2 millimetres that end. You could even go down to 0.15 that end if you wanted to. So I'm just going to check 0.25 on the treble side. 0.2, sorry, on the treble side. And when I can find the right feeler gauge. The fan's on, so you might not hear this, but certainly low enough on the treble side. The rest of them, strings E, A, D, G, all going to need to be quite a bit lower. I've got about 0.25 here, 0.3 up there. So we are going to get some nut files out. Using my new Hosco ones. These are fantastic. Should have bought these years ago, but I'm going to try and drag out a 1046 set. It's what this guitar is more or less set for. 10 doesn't need touching, the 13 doesn't need touching. We've got 36, 50, no, I don't need those either. Yes we do, 36, 46 and a 26, there you go, 46. I'll find them in a minute. 16 we're going to need, are we? Yes we are. 16, 36, 46, 26, we'll go 28, it's the closest one we've got. Oh, well, shall we go 24, 28? We're going to go 28, a little bit wider. So there you go, so there's 4 I want. I don't normally start with doing the nut, but I'm going to start with doing the nut this time. So we're just going to check. I want about 0.3 millimeters here. First I want to check that the height at the 12th fret is where I want it to be. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If it's anywhere between 1715, 175, I'll be okay, or 175, 2 mil. Okay, that's too low. So we are going to raise the bridge. Well, that's why this guitar was buzzing when I played it. Okay, let's get this up there. People tend to think you can just lower the bridge and that's it. It's not the case. It's a balancing act, but you have got to set the nut, the bridge, the 12th fret and the relief right to get the setup right. So what have I done with that? Under there. Let's have a look, see where we are. Still too low. So let's get close to where we want to be. I should have done this off camera by rights, but I've not, so you have to sit there and look at this stupid angle of the guitar and my stomach. And that doesn't seem to want to turn. Should I get a plier on there? I want to advise doing this because you could scratch the guitar body. I'm not going to because I know what I'm doing. Let's have a look, see where we are. Right, definitely better that side. And we are close enough that side. That is better. So let's get somewhere close to tuning. I wonder if this will pick this up. That's close enough for me, so there we go. Much happier with that. So now we're going to look again at the height. Sorry if the fan's bugging you, I'm not turning it off, it's red hot in here. Far too high, so we're just going to remove the string. We're going to take the 46 file. Give it a wipe. Well, gently. We're not going to go gung-ho, we're going to angle it slightly toward the tuner. And we're going to carve in. Not removing too much, just remove a little. If you go too low, you're going to replace in the knot. So we'll go a little bit lower than that if we want. And I'm thinking we're going to be pretty much okay there. Let me get a gig guitar so I can get the tuner in properly. I like to keep twanging so hard. Twanging is a proper term. It's a term I like to use here. That's the E done. We're now going to move on to the A string, which we'll find will be a 36. Same again. Don't go gung-ho. Take your time. It's not a race. There you go. Use your judgment, go a little bit lower with this one. Perfect. So we're now going to drop to 0.25 for the next two strings. Not far off on the D string. We're going to use a 28 slightly wider than it needs to be. That isn't going to matter. It's certainly not going to pinch in the slot, is it? Happy with that? And the next one is going to be 17. Closest I've got is a 16. So we're going to flare this open just a little. By flare I mean we're just going to go in. Then we're just going to go left and right. You've probably seen that opposite you are. And that's it. The nut slots are cut. Very happy with that. Not a difficult job. Just take your time. Don't go too deep. There with nut slots cut. So we can now, I'm going to remove the strings. We're going to try and use these strings again. As was requested by the owner, because we've only just gone on the new strings. But if we can't use them again, we will replace them. The problem I find with these is when you've used locking tuners and you loosen them, once you tighten them up again, they tend to snap on that corner right there. So we'll see if we can get away with it or not. Maybe we will. Probably won't. But anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to loosen the strings, I'm going to get the strings off. Then we're going to go straighten the neck and have a look at the frets. Very rare I get a guitar in and it doesn't need any fretwork, but this one, hallelujah, doesn't need any fretwork whatsoever. I've been across with a fret rocker and these frets are level all the way across, down the centre, on the outside, on the inside. The frets do not need any work. So we've done the nut, the frets are fine. We're going to alter the bridge slightly when I put the strings back on because it's a little bit low on the treble side. We'll sort that out later. One thing I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to set this straight because it is not right. I'm just going to grab a plier, loosen this, and we're going to set this right. Very, very careful, be careful not to scratch the guitar. There you go. Turn it over. going to set that straight. Little things, little knickknacks. I'm also going to want to have a look inside the control cavity anyway and have a look at the electrics while I'm here, but we're going to get this done first. So these are just little tweaks, it's stuff I don't normally film. Just want to get that where it needs to be. Set it at 90 degrees. Turn it over. Hand tight should be enough. If you want to be pedantic, you can just hold the back very, very gently, get a good grip on the outside, not pressing on the guitar body, and just give it an extra little nip, and that is tight enough. So there you go, that's now at 90 degrees, that's perfect. But I like to be nosy me, so I'm going to go and have a look inside the control cavity in a second. Definitely not from there. There you go. Stick this back in. Just to have a look to see what type of pots and capacitors are in there. I mean, given a choice, if I was modifying anything in it, I'd be sticking either an orange drop, or I have some Mullard busted capacitors, new old stock from the 60s. I use basically a standard, but they're great. Transform my studio. People say capacitor is a capacitor, it's all about the value. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, because when I stuck my Mullard mustard in one of my guitars, I thought it sounded a lot better. Anyway, I just want a quick glimpse inside while I'm here. Oh, it's got one of these thingy-madungies. I don't, this is not my cup of tea. I normally always oink these out and stick standard pots and caps in there. It's got this all plug and play, quick connect gumph in there. Fine while it's working, but if you want to start modifying anything, it's going to make it more difficult. So that's that, I just wanted to show that. Anyway, I'm going to get this cavity back on, I'm going to turn the guitar back over, I'm going to get to work on the frets. I'll be back soon. So, next part of the process, lemon oil on the neck for cleaning purposes. Remove any dirt, we'll let it soak in 5-10 minutes. It's actually not lemon oil, it's mineral oil. Specially formulated for guitar fingerboards, i.e. Palferro, rosewood, ebony, any of your dark woods. I'm just going to let this sit and soak in 5-10 minutes. It'll treat the wood, it'll nourish the wood, get a little bit of moisture in there. It'll also float off any grime or dirt. And we'll also just wipe it off. While that's doing its business, I can polish the frets. And to do so, I'm going to be using finest grade steel wool, which is the super fine stuff or extra fine, grade 0000. I'll be taking some fingerboard guards, wide one for this end, narrow one for this end, and it's just a matter of taking some fresh steel wool. I'll just go up the edge of the bevels first. There we go. It's just a matter of going across the top of the fret. You see how we've got the pickup covered, so we can't get any filings in the pickup. It's just a matter of going over the top of the fret and give it a little polish. Removing any grime, any gunk, and bringing them back to a nice shine. It doesn't take long. I used to add this one on as an extra, but it's, you know, you can't really charge for this. It doesn't take you long at all, so I just made it inclusive with the price. Some of the pricing structure used to be different. I used to have 3 levels of setup, I only have the 2 now. But anyway, polishing the frets while the fingerboard oil is doing its thing. We're not removing the oil. The good thing about using the fingerboard guard is we're not scratching into the wood with the steel wool. We wouldn't want to do that anyway because we're going against the grain. This will bring the frets up to a nice shine. As you can see, it doesn't take long at all. I'm going to let the oil soak in for about 10-15 minutes. Then I'll come and wipe it off. Then I'll wipe it off again. We can get some strings on the guitar. Because I did this setup with the old strings on, it makes it a lot easier to do the setup or do once you've done restringing and everything. The setup's almost there. You've only got to really check things. You haven't got to do anything major. We've already checked the intonation. We've cut the nut slots. We've set the action. We've set the relief. All we need to do is put strings on and just check everything. If everything has been done right in the first place, it should all fall into line. All we've got to do is stretch the strings and tune it in, and the guitar will be done. But anyway, that's the frets polished. I can use that steel wool again, even though it's got oil on it. I can use it for the next one. Stick these back. In fact, I'll give them the white and stick them back. See how everything was covered so we didn't get oil where we didn't need it to be. And that's it. So I'm going to let my oil soak in for a short while, get it wiped off, and I'll bring you back in. Well guys, I don't think there's much more I can really tell you about this this guitar and what I'm doing to it. It's going to make for a pretty boring video. It's just a basic, regular, I say basic but not basic, just a regular setup. And I've wiped my oil off once, I'll let it sit again for another short while, and I'm wiping it off again for the second time. And that really is it. And all I really need to do now is put the strings back on, stretch them in, and tune the guitar up to pitch. That's really it. So is there anything else I can tell you while I'm here? I'll tell you one thing I do like to do. Just check the tuners that are all same sort of tightness. And they're pretty good. That could do with a little nip. I check every nut, bolt, screw, whatever on a guitar when I do a setup. That's a little bit loose, so just give it a little nip. That's not so bad. That's all pretty good. We'll flip it over. Just check these on the back. On these later guitars, it does tell you the year on the back. You don't have to just, well, I actually know serials anyway. I know where to look at a serial and I can tell what year it is. But these actually tell you Made in USA 2014. Or Made in USA 2014 model. We'll do that anyway. Just put the guitar down. We've looked at the electrics in there. Tested those, they're all fine. So that's it, all we're going to do now is get the strings on. I'm going to use the strings it came with, exactly the same ones, because I'm sure we can get away with using them without them snapping. Now what happens is, in my experience, once you lock a string on this corner here and tighten it up, when you loosen it and lock it again in the same place, it normally snaps right on where it joins, goes through the tuner hole or the machine head hole. However, that's not going to happen on these because it'll save a good few quid, because the strings have only been on, he says they've only been on a week, what have been played, not been touched. He wasn't enjoying playing the guitar because the action wasn't right. The action certainly wasn't right, so I bought it for a setup. So I'm going to put the same strings back on, hopefully we will get away with it, and I'm going to do the setup from there. I'm going to bring the tailpiece up just a little bit and make sure the bridge is in the right place. Before I do anything though, there's a bit of dust in that bridge. I'll have to give a brush. Soft brush here, it's actually a soft close brush, just to get all the dust out. That's all nice. And I'm going to bring up the tailpiece just a little. What we want is, when the strings come over this brake angle here, we don't want them resting on the back of the bridge. We want them going straight to the stock tailpiece without touching the back of the bridge. So, start high, we can always lower down. Well, that's it. Off camera, I'm going to get the strings on. I'm going to stretch them in, get it to tune it to pitch, and we'll come back to finalise the video. Totally forgot to film the end of this video, and I left my glasses at work, so we're going to make do as we are. The guitar is finished. I finished it off yesterday, and everything went fine with this. What a really great guitar. It's what they are. It's a Gibson Les Paul Standard 2014 120th anniversary edition. They're just a brilliant guitar. And all this has had is a setup. That's it. Tweaked a couple of things. I reset the three-way because it was cockeyed. So I needed that sorted out. I'm just going to check the strap pins while I'm here. That's fine. And that's fine. And that's it. I've got to rush because the guy's coming to pick this up. He should be here right now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that is it. Gibson Les Paul Standard 2014 model, 120th anniversary edition. Grover locking tuners, beautiful guitar. It's got a maple cap, mahogany body, mahogany neck. I would imagine some kind of rosewood derivative fingerboard. It's got binding, it's beautiful. 2-tone, 2-volume, 3-way selector. Great pickups, 498T and 490R I believe, but I'm only guessing. I love these pickups. It's like, the guitar sounds fantastic. I've plugged it in and played it. It sounds amazing. So yeah, full setup, a lot, fresh polish, blah blah blah. You know how it works. But that's it. It's all finished. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Just before I go, I'm going to remind you my website, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I am Victor. I am your fret friend. And until the next time, as always, God bless you. Be good to each other, and I'll see you in the next one.